My name is Jeffrey Nordstrom. I work at a company called Macrogenics, which is a company that develops antibody drugs. My position title is Director of Preclinical Product Development. My role is involved in the preclinical steps, so that is all the steps prior to starting a clinical trial. The early stage trials are focused purely on safety. And so the idea is to administer small amounts of the drug and make sure that it's well tolerated by the patient. And only if it's well tolerated is it escalated to the next higher dose and so forth. Once this initial trials, which are called phase 1 safety trials, when those are completed, then the drug advances to a phase 2 study in which a particular dose is selected that's considered to be an effective dose. And the drug is administered at that dose to a larger number of patients to assess whether or not the molecule is truly active in terms of reducing tumor growth or eliminating the tumor. And then, based on the results of the phase 2 study, then a large phase 3 study is done that may involve hundreds, sometimes even thousands of individuals to compare the ability of this drug to what would be considered the standard of care treatment for the particular type of cancer that's being addressed. And then the results of that study are then submitted to the FDA, and that may lead to product approval if indeed the drug is shown to be superior to standard of care. If it's not superior to the standard of care, then it will not be approved by the FDA. I'd just like to make one comment about how these antibody drugs are developed, and it's not at all like it is in the movies. Sometimes you see in the movies where there's a brilliant scientist that comes up with this wonderful, fantastic therapy by working in his laboratory or even in his garage. It doesn't work that way. To develop good, safe drugs requires a whole team of dedicated people that are highly qualified to go through the whole process. My father died of leukemia when I was working on my PhD, so he never got a chance to see me as a, quote, doctor, and I think he would have been very proud of me. The other thing is my wife is a cancer survivor. She developed about 6 years ago, she developed squamous cell esophageal cancer, and that's an extremely tough cancer. It has a very poor prognosis. Through the expertise of the oncologist that we work with, her tumor and the metastatic sites completely cleared. She's been cancer-free for 5 years. My wife actually stayed at a center that was located across the street from the hospital where other cancer patients resided with their families so they could have access to the treatment. That allowed us to interact with a whole variety of cancer patients that were receiving various types of treatments. That just stimulated me tremendously because the need for safe and effective treatments for these patients that were really struggling with some pretty severe cancers really hit home. And I really understood how things were working in the clinical environment. So that just stimulated me tremendously to keep doing what I'm doing.